and now they're fully living their life again. It
Yeah, I
is,
think it's like a 50-50. I think some people
yeah,
do just regular, kratom powder, and some people have to have that. And it probably, it's like one of those things that just depends on the person. It
yeah.
depends on how much they were taking. It depends on, how their body works. It depends. But
My jaw drops to the floor almost every damn time when they tell me the amount they spent.
yeah.
I am like, that you could have had a car paid off. You could have had
I
it.
mean, even, people are like, why are they buying it this? I'm talking about people buying it online.
That too.
Yeah. Even the
That
people
too.
buying it online is ridiculous.
It's insane. Like I said, if I would have found if 7OH was available in 2019, there's no way I would have moved out of the ghetto. I'd still be
No.
on food stamps and fucking child support and
Who
all that shit.
knows? Like, who knows where
Section
you'd be?
8. I'd still be on Section 8.
God, I'm so glad that I didn't. All right, let's hear what Sean here. Is this Sean Ryan or is it the other dude? I guess I'll find out.
This is the Sean Ryan dude interviewing that guy who
Okay,
I
this dude.
think that guy is like some sort of I don't know, like a Maine journalist or something, like the state of Maine. I don't know.
Okay, okay. I got you.
Synthetic opioid drug derived from the kratom plant.
This is also called gas station heroin.
Gas station
guy looks
heroin.
a
So
little
gas station
familiar.
heroin is actually, I sent a reporter undercover into the exchange in Portland, and he got needles, but he also got a boofing kit.
A what?
A boofing kit.
A
What's a
kit?
boofing kit? I mean, I have, once again, that it could be up to 46 times stronger than morphine.
It's a hard drug. It's a opioid. It is going to give you an experience exactly like what you would get from morphine or from fentanyl.
I mean, how much of this am I going to have to take to have that same
That's
experience?
If you'll notice this one's called Opia.
Have you seen anybody that's only on 7OH, not on fentanyl, heroin,
I haven't.
oxy?
I haven't. And again, part of it is because
Okay.
7OH. What is it?
7-OH is a synthetic opioid drug derived from the kratom plant. The kratom plant is a coniferous plant indigenous to Southeast Asia, grows throughout Indonesia, primarily where it's harvested from. And in its raw form, I would say kratom is to 7-OH as the poppy seed is to morphine or the coca leaf is to cocaine. The kratom leaf has been consumed by locals for hundreds, if not thousands of years. It can make a tea that's anywhere from mildly stimulating, like a cup of coffee, or anxiolytic is what some of the proponents will say, as in reduces anxiety,
I didn't know how to say
aka
that
gets you
word.
high.
Me either.
By itself, it's relatively harmless. There are plenty of people who consume it as a tea or chew it like chewing tobacco, but it has some alkaloids in it, which I think nicotine is an alkaloid. Opioids are alkaloids. It's just a name for a class of chemicals that interact with your brain. It has some natural alkaloids in it that will give you those experiences. In natural kratom leaf, once it begins to decay a little bit, develops trace amounts of something called 7-OH. And at some point in time, it was discovered that this 7-OH is very potent, and a complex chemical process involving harsh chemicals like pool shock and reagents, and I'm not a chemistry expert, but it's a complicated process. It's like Walter White stuff. It's not just mixing it together in your bathtub. Huge amounts of raw ingredients together with this chemical process, and you produce a concentrated version of 7-OH. And it's specific to 7-OH. It's not an extract or a concentration of kratom. So you can concentrate a tincture of kratom just by soaking it in ethanol or something and getting a more potent version of kratom. But 7-OH requires a very specific chemical process to
There
go
you
through.
go.
So while it may begin with some kind of plant-grown natural ingredient, your end result is really purely a synthetic drug. And again,
Yep.
depending on who you ask and how you measure, it's many multiples more potent than morphine. And it's an opioid. It works on the same receptors in your brain. It's the dosages that someone who is a habitual fentanyl or prescription opioid user would be familiar with are hard to determine when it comes to 7-OH. There's not a lot of testing. There's not a lot of there's no regulatory oversight of this. It's not like FDA approved. There's not a lot known about it. And it's a very recent phenomenon, very recent. There are, I guess, disagreements as to how 7-OH really took off and became as popular as it is now.
I mean, I have, once again, that it could be up to 46 times stronger than morphine.
It's
Yes.
like a
That's
different
pretty
number with
potent
who
shit.
Every
whoever you
time,
ask.
yeah.
Very potent shit.
Yes. And
So-
the same people who know that will tell you that it's not addictive.
They'll tell it's.
That
They'll tell you
it's
not
an
addictive.
all natural, non-addictive substance that,
Takes your breath
if
away.
you
It makes you
just,
pause. Like, what?
skip a day taking it, you'll be fine. You won't ever become habituated to it. I think, most people, if you have any experience with drugs or alcohol, like you can take something once and figure out pretty quickly that it's addictive. Like the very first time you take a Percocet after having a wisdom tooth out, you can be like, oh yeah, this is addictive.
I remember
I have a
that.
feeling that 7-OH is probably the same. But again, 36%, 17%. It depends on how pure the formulation is, who made it, how, and how you're measuring it or comparing it. But it is it's a hard drug. It's a opioid. It is going to give you an experience exactly like what you would get from morphine or from fentanyl. And the key thing for everybody to understand, especially parents and people who might be dabbling or curious about it, is that it's available at convenience stores, grocery stores, gas stations. Like
That
it took
shook me.
2 seconds to find the 7-OH on my way to the studio. I just looked up tobacco shops. I could have stopped at 30 of them. I'm pretty sure I could have bought those products at any of them. Any of them. I've got more.
This is also called gas station heroin.
Gas station heroin. So gas station heroin is actually a name that was first started with a drug called tianeptine, and tianeptine was a antidepressant formulated in the 1960s in France, and various European countries have different regulations and rules around it. Some still use it, some don't. And tianeptine began to be marketed in the early, I think, 2010s in gas stations as Neptune's Fix, and it would be like almost the same size as a one of those little teeny weeny energy drinks,
Teeny weeny.
and it has sedative qualities but also some euphoric qualities, and that's really where the term gas station heroin began. However, lawmakers, law enforcement eventually began to catch on to what was happening, and like in the most recent legislative session in Maine, there was a proposed law to ban tianeptine. So you've got that cycle I mentioned earlier where the drug users figure out what's going to get them high, what's cheap, what's available, and they'll start to use it. Law enforcement 2 to 3 years later discover what's going on, and eventually 2 to 3 years after that, it trickles to
Thank God he is showing that he knows what he's talking about, tianeptine and gas station heroin.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, because I can't stand it when people say that about 7-OH.
But when I said that, it shocked me. If you guys weren't here for like the first half when we were showing the first video, that the CBD American Shaman, the main manufacturer of the 7-OH stuff, has stores inside the grocery stores,
Yeah.
and it just shocked me to see
Crazy.
that.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Me either. Like, when we go to the grocery stores out here in Colorado, there's like Starbucks and, Subways and stuff like that
Or
inside
like
there.
the pretzel, that Aunt Annie's pretzel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to have that inside of a
That's
grocery
insane.
store? Oh,
Policymakers finally figure out a way to change it, to change the law so that it can't happen. But by that time, either all the ill consequences from the drug have already happened, or the drug users have already moved on. So now what's happened is they've moved on to products like 7-OH. Here are other forms of it. If you'll notice this one's called Opia. Opia doesn't sound at all like they're trying to conjure the idea that it's
Got a
related
lot
to
of
opium,
alcohol
does
in
it?
there.
There are some that are called Perk. You know, obviously they're trying to conjure the image that is Percocet. This is another one. I bought these both from the same store. This was actually I bought those at Bros 2, which you're probably familiar with because it's right next door to Tucker's studio in Maine. And the guy who sold those to me didn't speak a lick of English, but when he saw me pointing at the gas station heroin section, he just started laying out in front of me all the different options. And then the woman who did speak English and was maybe the general manager of the store saw that I was, I guess, a gas station heroin user and perked up and came over and actually tried to upsell me on the 200 milligram version
Yes, yeah.
of the gas station heroin. So she knew exactly what she was doing. She knew
Yep.
exactly what she was trying to sell me.
So
what she thought she was into.
how much of this, if I wanted to experience the same high as fentanyl or heroin or, insert opiate, I mean, how much of this am I going to have to take to have that same experience?
I don't
It depends. How much fentanyl have you been using on a daily basis?
Yeah, so okay,
what I'm-
let's say if you're a first time user.
If you're a first time
what is
user, I don't
equivalent?
know. I don't know, and I don't think anybody knows, and it hasn't really been studied well. The best advice that the people who are promulgating this as a healthy product, the best they'll say is start slow.
I really want to know, who the customer is and how dangerous this is. So, I mean, have you seen anybody that's only on 7-OH, not on fentanyl, heroin,
I haven't.
oxy?
I haven't. And again, part of it is because we're here very early, very early. I haven't seen.
Have you seen who's
other
coming
than
into
Vince
the stores to buy this?
No, other than Vince Sanders on a podcast talking about being the titan of 7-OH. I've never
brags
heard
about
any
it.
other podcast or
Yeah.
any big media talk about it. And the stories published just a few weeks ago by the Kansas City Star about CBD American Shaman were some of the first that covered 7-OH. So it's very, very early. And in Maine in particular, fentanyl is so widely available and so cheap that I don't think that people have been pushed in this direction yet.
Gotcha.
There are Dominican drug cartels that run very easy fentanyl markets in Maine. They don't get a lot of harassment from law enforcement. For $20, you can stay high on fentanyl all day. It's very inexpensive, and we give away needles for free. But as the
Give away needles for free up there?
Yes, we stopped doing needle exchange under COVID. Governor Janet Mills suspended the one-to-one needle exchange.
This is crazy. You can't even buy a flavored nicotine pouch
Yeah.
in Maine,
in Portland, yeah.
in Portland.
Yeah, some states have
But
cracked
you
down
can,
on it. In
but
Portland,
you can go get some free needles to shoot up fentanyl.
I sent a reporter undercover into the exchange in Portland, and he got needles, but he also got a boofing kit.
A what?
What
boofing
the
kit.
hell?
What's a
though?
boofing kit?
If you've so thoroughly abused your veins that you can't get fentanyl in, the boofing kit is a non-needle syringe with some lubricant that you put in your butt. It's called
Tried
boofing.
that?
I have.
I have not tried that, but we did get a boofing kit in Maine. You can't get mint flavored tobacco pouches in some cities, but you can get free boofing kits to squirt Dominican fentanyl up your ass and
Thank
free
God.
needles.
Thank God.
But they did away with the 1-to-1 needle exchange requirement. And instead you get one box of 100 needles.
No matter where you're watching Sean Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, Share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on.
Oh, God.
Hey, Lucky Rob. I was
hey.
against 7 until I started doing more research and talking to the other side. One thing I could tell you, Lucky Rob, is that if 7OH was, when you were fighting your ass off to pass the Kratom Consumer Protection Act in Mississippi, if they didn't have a 7OH cap limit on there, you would not have passed the KCPA there. Not at all.
And I mean, again, I don't agree with the scheduling or whatever, but I'm not going to advocate for it, period.
Nope.
Not my that's substance. My thing. Like, if people want to take it and they want to advocate for it, then I think that's just somebody, that's fine. But don't come and try and get me signed up for it when I have nothing.
I can tell you one thing though, is that they try to guilt trip you into being neutral.
Yeah.
I ain't falling for that. Hell fucking no.
I mean, I ain't gonna take it. I ain't gonna promote it, and I ain't gonna advocate for it.
Like I said, I say that, all the time, it's not my substance.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm trying to keep legal. You know what? I sit back and think, like, if Kratom was finally federally legal, then maybe if the 7OH, the 7OH.org, the 7OH dealers who made this shit, if they proved their science prior to market entry in 2023, which they haven't, they've lied. There is no science. That's first red flag right there. But let's say that, in a couple years or whatever, Kratom is finally federally legal and the 7OH.orgs finally had their science that they say they have, maybe, just maybe. But even then, I still won't advocate for it because I don't take it. I'm a recovered addict. My recovered addict ass knows better. I just looked at it like the government has been coming after us for so long, spewing lies that they aren't going to stop. And this is only going to give them an open door. Well, you can't be selling an opioid over the counter. I mean,
and again, like I say, exactly. I mean, and I'm not saying I agree with the government. You know what I'm saying? When they say we're not going to come after Plain Leaf, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just saying it's not the same substance. And if they do come after a whole leaf, then I'll be ready to fight when that time comes. But it's not the same.
We still have our, like Brandon always says, shields high, warriors. We will have our shields high.
Yeah.
We've never stopped advocating. And if they come after, all Kratom, then we'll continue doing what we do right now.
But I'm not going to advocate for 7OH just because I've been fear-mongered. I hate that fucking word. Into people saying that Plain Leaf is going to go down with it. Because, I mean, when that time comes, then I'll be ready to fight. But until then, I'm just going to let...
Oh, the other comment that gets me is if 7OH is going down, I'm going to take Kratom down with it.
I'm going to devote my entire life.
Like, guess what? Guess what? Kratom doesn't meet the 8-factor analysis.
Yeah.
You can't take it down. So that's where I can kind of feel like I kind of believe what Dr. McCary says about they're not targeting the natural ether. He's said it multiple times. So I kind of believe that, but I'm not at 100% there,
Yeah.
Because I'm going to stay on the ready.
Because they're not, you got all these stupid people in the local areas that, like we see all the time, they're not differentiating the two. And so that's like, but if the FDA, if we can keep pointing back to the FDA, that really does help.
Matter of fact, the FDA just updated their FDA and Kratom on their website.
Yeah, I totally forgot about
as of September 25th. Beforehand, they would list all the pretty much non-existent side effects.
Going to fall off.
Yeah, your liver going to fall out of your butt. Your heart going to fall out of your armpit. That type of shit. But if you go read the FDA and Kratom website now, it's looks okay to me. I mean,
Yeah.
And then, like I said, y'all be ready for the 708 8-factor analysis that's about to be released. That's all I'm going to say about that. My advice, like I said, if you're a 708 user and you're watching this, now's your time to get off. Now's your time to taper off. Now's your time to get off. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh. Oh, goodness gracious. Golly me.
My concern is I would feel more at ease if HHS, RFK Jr., and DEA guy confirmed mini cis statement about not going after the leaf. I hope that they got that shit in writing. That's what I hope.
Well, I don't know if anybody caught the presentation that we did. We streamed yesterday. But dude, that was amazing that they included in the slideshow all the parts where they were saying we're not going after plain leaf, and they explained the difference between the two in all of the interviews and stuff that
Dr. McCary.
Yeah, I always want to. I don't know, dude's name. Dr. McCary.
FDA. Yeah, he's the FDA commissioner.
Dr. McCary, kept saying, and even RFK.
And it's like, like I said, because they're the government, so I'm not 100%, whatever. But I just stand on guard. Stand on guard.
Yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, man, that presentation was so good.
Yeah, that needs to be seen. Like I posted up on LinkedIn and X and all that. That needs to be seen by all the state legislators, by all the city council members, by all the public health departments. Board of Health. That presentation needs to be seen. And Laura and Dr. Heidi and John Shinholzer, they are always down and willing to do free presentations for that.
And I love it because when they're doing the presentation, the people that they're doing it to can ask questions. I mean, there was a lot of good questions asked and everything during that presentation yesterday. I think it was awesome that we got to put it out there.
Yep.
Because a lot of those questions, I'm sure other people would have, that are local council members or whatever.
And I don't know. I hope people take them up on that offer because, you going up there putting out a blanket ban on Kratom because, like I said, Mike, and I know you see this shit, going on in Illinois, they're having problems with the 7-OH in their communities.
Yeah.
And because 7-OH is being called a Kratom product because that's how they've been able to skirt by the laws this whole time. Like I said, you can't sell a freaking opioid over the counter. You just can't. This is this is America. So I don't know. Like I said, it pisses me off because we dedicate so much time, so much energy, so much efforts. Even cried, tears. And it's like, where are they? The 7-OHers ghost every hearing. They're like nowhere to be found. Like they're not, but yet they want to. Like I said, they call us names. They're trying to guilt trip us.
Yeah,
I ain't falling for that. I ain't.
And they act like we're the bullies.
Yeah,
because we wanted to. Like, I just want to be separated. That's all I want. Like, that's all I want. It's not the same thing, and let's not. Y'all do y'all's thing. Let me do mine. It's a free country. This America, like you just said. Damn it. Let me do my thing and you do yours. God have mercy.
And we do this all for free. We just passionately do what we do, and and it's a lot of hours. Like y'all might see 30-second clips of me on TikTok or 1-minute clips or whatever, but there's a lot of time, energy, and effort that goes into that.
I even see them here, Mike. I mean, Tennessee is supposed to have, the whole regulations, and that's the thing too. It's like, I mean, we're coming up for a state ban. Next thing, first thing legislative session that comes out, Tennessee is next up on the chopping block.
It is.
And I guarantee you it's because of this.
It is.
And it's like everywhere I go, every time. And when I ask the people in the store, I'm like, how much of this stuff do you sell? They're like, we can hardly keep it on the shelves. I mean, it's like, wow. That's insane.
Hey, Kathleen.
Oh, hey, Kathleen.
You're welcome.
Man, I don't know. It's frustrating when you have to deal with it every day. You know.
And we do. We get bombarded with comments and shit like that, and whatever.
I usually just ignore them.
I do too. I'm not
It's
getting
not
in that
worth
dust
it.
cloud.
Yeah.
That Charlie Brown Fight
No,
Club.
thank you, Charlie Brown.
On that note, we'll end this here.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks for coming, everyone.
Sunday night is
Sunday.
Yep, we're gonna live stream the American Crime Association webinar. So that's gonna be at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll live stream that, or you guys check your AKA emails and register directly from there, or you could just come, hang out with us over here and watch it. And then we're gonna live stream the Connecticut hearing that's happening on the 15th.
Yeah. And what he's going to talk about, Mac's going to talk about the Connecticut hearing on Sunday. So it's like really Connecticut and
California.
Canada. Not Canada, California and Connecticut. So don't miss that for sure, because it's a lot of important info.
A lot of stuff has gone down in California.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't know. It's sad, but hopefully something can be done about it.
Yeah, we shall see.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see y'all Sunday.
Yep. See y'all Sunday. And shit, what days? So my son turns 21 on the 15th.
Yeah. Mine turns 20 on the 17th.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see y'all on Sunday and Wednesday. We don't know exactly what time on Wednesday. So
yeah, it starts at like 9:30 in the morning, but there ain't no telling when they're gonna get to it.
Yeah, so
last time we waited like all day.
So just hit your little icon bell thing for the notification thing.
Yeah.
Because we'll just go live. And then if there's any side hearings that, because that's what we do. Jennifer, I'm telling you, when January starts, we are going to be live streaming a fuck ton.
Like it's going to be really busy.
A fuck ton of hearings.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Okay. Well, you guys have a great night and enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you Sunday night at 9:30 Eastern time.
Bye, everybody.